Castle.
Good evening.
Now we're live.
Welcome back
It's a
to
live
my
podcast.
friend's podcast.
Whoa! That never happens.
I'll let you have
Holy
this podcast
shit.
this episode, don't worry.
Something's wrong. Why are you being nice to me right off the bat?
Do you want me to...
I'll just tell you about
That's what
I will
happen.
chase you
With a
with
microphone?
I will put this in my pocket and crank the gain and
You'll
face
be like
it on you.
You'll be like fucking paparazzi saying, what do you have to say about this?
Shia!
Yeah, it'll get...
Mr. LaBeouf!
I'll start screaming rape.
You want to do that in front of your ex-girlfriend's house?
You know...
For the listeners at home, we're back at the scene of the crime. Well, that's the wrong thing to call it.
After the... You can't do that. Dude, no.
Sorry, we're back at one of the places we've recorded an episode of this show before.
Motherfucker.
The
Yeah, we're
trauma
back.
zone.
We're back to
We're back at the trauma zone.
to the trauma lot.
We're playing Trauma Center.
It's like... It's like most any other center.
Yeah, it's just like you just have bad memories associated with it.
Yeah. It's like instead of like a shopping center where you like remember the little knickknacks you bought,
Mhm.
here you just remember the trauma and the nights of...
Do you think you go to a shopping center to remember the things that you bought?
Yeah, I just go there to remember them.
You just walk around the mall and be like, oh, I remember when I was in there.
Yeah, I go around and be like,
Oh, Dix, I've seen that. Oh, I remember when I had shoes.
yeah, and then a new one appears, like a one closes down. I walk by and I'm like, yo, I'll remember that.
Clementine will remember
And it's
that.
new and it feels good.
That was tough. I almost said the wrong person's name there.
Oh my god. You can't do that. There's a non-zero chance that this is somehow like investigated and found already.
Investigated and found?
Yeah.
What? This podcast?
Yeah.
Investigated for what?
Investigated by who, you mean?
Oh. Wouldn't
Anyway.
it be funny if, like...
No, probably wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be, but
If you're
like,
laughing, it's not gonna be funny.
you know in Breaking Bad when Gus walks right up to the end of the parking lot and Walt's about to blow him up with the car bomb, and he looks at Walt through the binoculars, but doesn't know that Walt's there for certain. He just has that feeling.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like looking at her house and thinking like, what if through the trees she's got eyes on us that we just can't see back to?
Yeah, there's a scene
We
playing
just
out.
get that feeling where we gotta go.
Yeah, if you ever get the gut feeling where you have to go,
You have
hit the gas
you
and
have to
drive through
go.
that window.
Through the window.
Yeah.
I feel like I could
Because then
just
we could
leave.
dodge the snipers.
I feel like if I just hit it fast enough, I could just dodge that anyway.
Maybe.
And not stop at the turn to leave this place.
Hmm.
I wonder what someone like who doesn't know us or like who hasn't been here, what their image of this place is when we say that we're here doing this.
Yeah, because like on other podcasts, when they describe an area, you're like, no, I have an image of this.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on the same page as
I don't
them.
think anyone could picture where we are or what
Yeah.
we're looking at.
We're next to Triangle House.
That could be that would describe a pyramid more than what we're actually in front of.
Well, it's a triangle.
We're looking at the top of the roof is a triangle.
I mean,
It's still just house
but,
shaped.
but the roof is like mostly triangle.
Yes.
If you looked at this house and you were like, what is the like predominant
number
shape?
one, it's not a house.
It can be.
It's a building.
This could be our house. We could buy this for the
Well,
studio.
actually, no. It is a house. It's the house of God.
True. If I were to quiz you, what shape is this mostly?
Mostly.
Yeah, what is most of this shape? Triangle. I was correct.
No. Theoretically, it'd be squares.
What the fuck? This thing.
The foundation is a square. All the windows are squares.
All right.
All
Technicality,
Well, I
man.
mean, they actually wrong. Rectangle, because you got bricks, and then you got all the siding, and then I see one triangular angle, and that's about it.
Someone had architect parents.
It wasn't me, so who
Oh,
was
okay.
it?
I don't fucking know.
Nice thing you just said there.
Yeah,
Too bad
somebody
it's
out in the world.
meaningless.
They're speaking through you.
Somewhere out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is somebody.
Anyway, welcome to episode 83. Am I close?
That is really close.
Oh shit.
Let me see what episode it is.
That was just I pulled that out of my ass.
That was a good guess.
That was a good vibe. I felt the feeling of 83. Is it like 80? Or is it 83?
It's 83.
No shit. I'm crazy. I'm crazy with it sometimes.
Oh my gosh, you got 83. That's insane. How did you do that?
It felt like 83.
Do you think this like domain that we're in gives you like stat buffs?
Yeah, I get passive buffs.
You get passive buffs
Yeah.
with like mental negatives.
Yeah, probably.
So the worse your like psychological state is, the better.
Yeah, without
your,
getting like
your passives are.
it's like you get a buff, but then you get like a little debuff.
Yeah.
But then it's like sometimes it's worth it.
Mm.
Yeah.
What other like buffs do you think you get from your traumas?
I'm bulletproof.
What did you have to go through to acquire that?
I don't know. I just reckon.
you just recall?
Yeah, I just I haven't been tested on that bit yet.
You just think so?
Yeah, until it's proven wrong.
That was a Theo Vaughn level statement right there. Speaking of recall,
do you get any buffs right here with the?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Spiritual damage. I'm safe from spiritual damage.
Oh, I thought you just get spiritual damage.
Well, I acquire that as well.
Oh, okay. So okay.
That is Christ-like.
You don't get to fly or guess numbers.
No. I can guess other things. I can guess people's age.
Oh,
I do
shit.
psychology real well. Like psychological tells and
just about
body
anywhere
language.
or like within the vicinity of a cross.
Well, I'm good at that anyway, but I get an extra +2 on it within the vicinity of a cross.
Oh shit, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
You should like become a policeman.
It's like a reverse vampire. You know how like a vampire gets debuffed by a cross?
Yeah.
I get buffed by a cross.
Yeah, you get buff with a cross.
Yeah. Just like Jesus. I mean, you had to carry that thing, so I mean.
That sounds annoying, bro. Just get a smaller one. What the heck?
Can you imagine being one of those people on Calvary Hill as you were watching Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, carry the cross that he is to be killed upon?
Yeah.
And be like, that looks annoying. They should give him a smaller one.
I'd tell him, I'm like, bro, you could just get it in like a little necklace and just walk around then.
They wouldn't know to have it on a necklace before that because it wasn't a religious symbol at that point.
Well, shit, then I'd make a breakthrough with that moment.
Are you implying that you're a time traveler in this scenario, or that you just would know?
I'm a time traveler. No,
okay.
I think I would just know.
You're a guy from back then who would just know.
I'd see the cross and I'd
But
get
you're
a buff.
you're not an apostle or anything. You're not like John
No.
Peter or anything.
Not even close. I'm just a dude.
You're just a dude, but you know. You're
Like-
like, they should just put that on a necklace maybe.
Yeah, I walk up and I'm like, oh, fuck. I feel my buff coming up, and I guess his age perfectly. He's like, how'd you do that? I'm like, dude, you should get a smaller cross. And he's like, I'll trust the age guy. And then I walk away. And then
Yeah, he's Jesus Christ, Son of God, but he's like, I'll trust that age guy.
yeah.
He might know something.
He guessed my 2 numbers.
He knows. Why does he know about my numbers?
Yeah, that was like the old-timey social security number.
How old you are?
Yeah, because you couldn't gauge that. Sometimes people are out in the sun and they look like they're 50 when they're actually like 30.
Well, people who ate less processed foods had better skin, so being in the sun probably wouldn't deter it. They'd actually probably look younger than you'd think.
I reckon they wouldn't. I've seen some farmers in Russia.
Just like how you reckon being bulletproof?
No. This one I have seen.
You've seen. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen some
You've seen
weathered grandparents.
That's a callback to this podcast. I've seen things.
Yeah, I've seen some eroded elderly
Eroded grandparents.
in the deeps of Russia.
The deeps.
Yeah, they don't have McDonald's.
Speaking of the deeps, the depths.
I thought you saw some. Oh, what the fuck? There's a little depth creature.
Yo, depth guy.
Depth guy.
Be
Depth
gone,
guy.
depths guy. Just want him.
guy. Fuck.
He's gone.
Is he gone?
Well, he's kind of like looking around.
Fuck you.
All right, now he's gone.
God damn it, dude.
Sorry, we got attacked by a bokoblin. A stall goblin. You want me to turn that up?
He's trying to break in, bro. He's trying to break in. He's in.
He's in.
No!
Just open the door.
Fuck!
Just open the door. You're fucking freaking out, dude. All right, we'll turn the
Is he dead?
we'll turn the AC on a little bit.
Yeah, get the AC going. We don't need nature fucking with my
We'll turn the car
stories,
on. We'll
bro.
let the car run for a little bit.
Anyway, what about the depths?
I finished Zelda.
Oh shit!
I completed it. The game's
Any
done
good?
for me. I
Hated it.
really liked the ending, like the final fight and the final temple. I despised the fucking ending and the last part of the final fight. It dropped the ball so hard, so fucking hard.
Was it a QTE?
No, it was like gay.
Oh.
It was like not fun. It was
Zelda says no to Link, and then she makes out with Ganon.
I wish.
Oh.
I
I thought
wish
that
that
was the
happened.
ending.
I wish anybody kissed anybody.
No, there's no romance. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's implied because of like Zelda living in Link's house or buying Link's
no,
house.
they're
from
just
him.
roommates. Okay. That's her little.
That's her little roommate.
That's her little roommate
It's
guy.
her little guy, but
Yeah.
not like her little guy in like a cute way.
He pays for her rent, but yet somehow he's her slave.
Yeah, how does she do it?
I don't know, man. It's fucked up.
How'd you figure that out? She got some kind of mystical bullshit power that we haven't seen in the game if that's the case. No, the ending was bullshit. I hated it. And it actually like ruined my experience knowing that the part that I enjoyed the most of the entire game ends with that.
The story. Wait.
The
story.
like the story. The
Oh,
story
okay.
and the last part of the final fight.
So far, I haven't even been interested in the story. I've just been doing the gameplay. It's been fun.
Well, even if I wasn't interested in the story or paying attention to it at all, the last part of the final fight is so drastically different from the good part of it and the concepts that they try to sort of introduce in that little bit that it actually fucking runs it off a cliff.
Shit, does Dragon Zelda come in and save the day?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I won't tell you how or why unless you already know.
I'd
in which
assume
case
somehow
we'll just
she'd
talk.
factor in. And then she turns back and everyone's happy. And then you and your ghost pals all cheer
The
together.
way she turns back makes no fucking sense. It's so stupid.
Does he cry on her?
The tears of the protagonist.
He's gonna, he's gonna reply with tears.
Reply with tears?
Yeah, because she sent a message with tears, and he found the Master Sword, and then he stabs her in the eyes with the Master Sword. So I guess.
No, he should reply with like an email.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah,
should
but-
like page her.
Yeah, they do have the Nintendo Switch as a product in the game. That's pretty cool.
It's not really a product. It's kind of like it's a one-use thing. There's only one, which doesn't make sense. You'd think Pura and Robbie would like develop a lot more of those.
They should just mass produce them.
That's a weird, like, kind of steampunk world
Yeah, it kind
to
of.
live in.
Yeah, the latest Zelda games are really steampunk.
They're very steampunk.
Yeah.
I finished the game and now I have more questions about Breath of the Wild.
Really more
Yes,
questions.
yes.
Okay.
Like all of the Zonai stuff in the Faron region
Yeah.
that the game sets up is not at all. It has almost nothing to do with anything that Tears of the Kingdom answers. So it's like, what the fuck is all this? Why is all this here? What does this have to do with anything?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's
I almost
kinda-
already when we like sat down with Malcolm and just fucking we're all pointing at the TV, being like, "No, that's the fucking Zonai guy." That was honestly more fun than going through the story and not getting any of those answers.
My guess of the shrines was super wrong. Remember we saw the shrines there, the little spiral green thing?
Oh yeah, you said that's what sends you up into the sky.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be.
Your guess of how the game started was very wrong as well. I just listened back to an episode we did.
What was my guess? I forgot.
Your guess was that what was it? You fall into the castle and then everybody's happy. That's what you said. You said, "Oh no, it's Ganon," and then you fall in the castle and everybody's good.
Yeah, I thought you would land on the castle and then you would lift with you in it, I think.
No.
And then you come out of the castle still thinking it's on the ground. Like there wouldn't be a cutscene of it lifting. You just get like a shaking scene. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
I
And
called
then-
it almost one for one before I even saw any of the leaks and knew.
Yeah, you kind of just hang out on the plateau, kind of the new plateau.
No. I said the game is going to open with you being underground. Walking
The
around
underground
Zelda,
bit,
and then
yeah.
it did. It had you controlled Link being underground.
I still haven't beaten it. I don't think I'm gonna beat it for the rest of the year. I'm just gonna keep playing it.
I don't even know if I'm going to like even open it again for the rest of the year.
Because as soon as I beat Breath of the Wild, I stopped touching it and being sensual with it.
Yeah, sensual.
Yeah.
You stopped
playing-
caressing it
yeah.
like you would a lover.
I didn't finish most of the shrines. I didn't do any of that. And I thought, oh, after I beat the game, I'll go back and do that. Lost all my motivation as soon as I beat the game. So I'm just not going to beat it until I get 100%.
I found some cool armor sets in the depths. And then
I found the miner gear or whatever. It glows.
the glowing one. I got the of the depths set, or like the shadow, the one that's like Zant, with the hood and the fucking long sleeves. That was my favorite one. And then I got almost none of the mining gear except for the helmet. And I was like, this is kind of gay, and I didn't want to keep going into every. I didn't want to go back to the surface to dive into every hole to get a new light route. So I got like 80% of the depths done, and I was like, oh, this fucking sucks.
I'm still like probably half through the depths, and I'm kind of annoyed. There's not much to them. It's just enemy encampments.
It's not populated at all.
It's just enemy stuff, and then the ninja people.
The Yigas, yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of a little bit of a letdown. I thought you'd be finding really cool shit. Aside from the bosses down there, that was really cool.
The bosses down there are sick.
Because there was like a light route area that kind of overlapped with one of the boss's platforms, so I couldn't see it all the way.
So you dive down looking for it, and then you see a health bar pop up while you're still in
I was
the
just
sky.
trying to get the next light route, and I'm gliding. Or no, I'm using the motorcycle that I built, the hover bike.
Yeah.
I'm flying, and then I just see the shadow of a wing. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
And then you get attacked by
Yeah.
Colgera.
And then it's the giant fucking serpent dude.
I fought Colgera the first time at the Wind Temple. It was my first temple in the game that I did.
That fight was pretty sick.
That fight was awesome. But anytime it like comes out of the portal underneath you, and it has its little pinchers try and grab you with like the ones by its face, never got hit by that once.
No, me neither.
During the game.
It was the easiest fight, I think.
That fight started for me going down into the depths. I was looking around because I had marked on the surface map with a pin where the shrine was, because they're like 1-to-1 with the shrines underground. So I'm checking the map for the pin, and every time I open the map and then close it, the health bar disappears. So I'm just hearing boss music for no fucking reason.
Oh no.
And then I am so preoccupied that I find the light route. I mark it down on the depths map. I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I look down. He's coming out of a portal. He fucking hits me with the pincers, and I die.
Yeah.
I went down there with like 5 hearts, and I went in
Christ.
with like no armor either.
That boss fight was pretty simple. As soon as you actually are on guard for it, the only thing that gets me is the tornadoes. I can't dodge them, so I just tank them every time.
You're supposed to use what's his face to push you out of the way with his wind power. Tulin.
Yeah, I didn't figure that out. The tornadoes are all so dense that I can't get through them.
I didn't know you could dive through the guy's body.
You could go in his mouth?
No, you could go his like 3 circle points that you're supposed to shoot. You can just skydive through it and break it that way.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't know that.
I found that out on accident trying to avoid the tornadoes. I'm like, I'm gonna land on that and then just shoot it.
Yeah, what I did for that,
and I just went through.
I'm gliding and then I let go, get my bow out and put wings on the bow, so it does a straight just shot.
That's
so there's no arc. And I just double hit it, break the glass, get into the heart. Yeah, that fight was pretty easy.
I went on a boss tour before I went into the castle to finish the game, and that was a lot of fun. I did all the Gliok fights, and I got the Hinox medal, and I killed a couple Froxes, and then I did the arenas with the Lionels in them.
The Lionels.
That was awesome. That was fucking. I wish you could.
The Lionels fuck me up. I still can't do it.
I wish you could like stumble into that more easily, because obviously the game's open world and you can go anywhere and do anything. But the sort of objectives that it sets for you are very limited. So you're kind of almost incentivized to go in a straight line until something catches your attention. But because the world is kind of empty, unless you run into like an RNG sort of thing falling that catches your eye going in a different way,
Yeah.
and you lose your way, you almost never run into any of the fun stuff.
That's why I'm trying to tell you, don't fast travel. Just get on a horse and ride around.
Well, you kind of have to fast travel.
Um,
Because there's some light routes I found that I didn't have the shrine above because I didn't do caves at all. Like I was so scared of caves.
I think I got a shit ton of caves, so I got all the shit from the one guy with the hot air balloon.
Oh, did you get the mystic armor?
Yeah, I think I got all of it. No, not all of it.
The mystic armor is some of my favorite.
Yeah, I don't think I got all of it. I think I'm missing like a few things. But
Don't lose health, lose money.
yeah, I actually have never had a lot of money in the game so far. The most I've had is maybe 2,000.
Because you have to go into caves to mine ores.
Yeah.
And I don't do caves because I'm a pussy.
Um,
I'm a little pussy boy.
although I spend my shit really quick. As soon as I get money,
Ain't that life, buddy? Ain't that one of the realest things anybody's ever said?
As soon as I saved up, I think I saved up like a decent amount, and I spent it all in the house that you could get.
Oh, you bought the house?
Yeah, I bought the house and bought a shit ton of rooms for it, and decorated the fuck out of it.
I hated that shit.
Oh, I
hated that guy who like runs around in the
Yeah.
area.
I
There's
didn't-
so many quality of life things in that game that never got fixed that really ruined my final score of it now that I'm finished with it.
Yeah, it's really clunky in bits, but it felt like an old MMO to me.
It did. It felt like a really
Which-
old MMO.
To me, that was fine. It felt nostalgic enough with the music and shit. I was like, oh fuck, I feel like I'm exploring an MMO without anyone else.
You know, you know what I'm rocking with now that I'm done with that? The fucking Final Fantasy 16. That is blowing my socks off. It's like if they made a Game of Thrones game, and but Game of Thrones never became bad. It's perfect. It's like fantasy politics in the right way, or like old medieval politics in the right way, with an action game on top of it. It's Devil May Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I have almost no context for what that game even is about.
Do you want some? Because it's awesome.
I'm debating because I might just get into it completely blind. I haven't seen a single trailer. I think during E3 or not E3 when it popped up on the Sony game
The
show.
summer game thing we were
Yeah.
watching.
I literally just went on my phone. I'm like, oh, it's Final Fantasy. Bye.
Dude, Final Fantasy's awesome.
Ugh.
Piss off. Kick rocks.
Forever it just.
Get bent. In fact.
I saw some trailers. I'm like, oh, okay, this is not it.
No, dude, it's cool. It's gonna be it's a Game of the Year nominee, if not Game of the Year.
Give it a shot. Maybe I'll film myself and post it on the invited channel opposite to Kicked Out. I might do some gaming on there, and I'll do like a highlights of me playing through the entire game. I'll make a 10-minute video out of the whole game.
That's gonna be tough, dude, because you're gonna have to cut it down to like your top 10 moments
Yeah, pretty much.
of a 60-hour game.
It might just be a 20-minute video. I'll just live stream and then just pull clips from the live stream of my reactions to shit.
That'll be fun. It's very fun. I'm telling you. I don't know what your gripe is. Where you're like, oh, it's Final Fantasy. I'm going on my phone.
I don't know. I think it's just probably from when my friends in like middle school would talk about Final Fantasy and it just put me off. I'm like, bro, no, get away.
They were your friends.
Yeah.
Why don't you like have an interest in what they talk about?
Because they would talk about was Bleach and Final Fantasy.
Bleach is awesome too.
I didn't like either. So I'm like, okay, never mind.
You're lame.
I'm playing
you're
it.
boring.
I'm playing Halo Reach because it just came out in that time.
Oh, well, all right. Well, that's fine.
So
Did they also play Halo Reach where they're like, no, we want anime instead?
they did not play Halo Reach.
Oh, all right. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. They're lame. That's
Yeah.
you can't like fucking draw battle lines. I hate it when kids did that. They were like, I like my thing, and I don't want to like anything else right now.
They were
So if
Japanese
you have-
only media.
Oh, okay.
They were
that's
like,
gay.
Japan is the best ever, and we need to only watch their stuff. So
That's gay.
that's it.
That's so.
They were legit weeaboos. Like,
Dude, I was into anime in middle school. At least I tried to hide it. At least I tried to talk to people like I could be normal. I
If
mean,
we
they could
could-
see through it because I was an awkward kid.
if we
and
could
they
time
knew.
travel back and you could sit with me at the lunch table, you would hate anime as well. Because it was just,
That's probably very fair.
yeah.
It's like having a cringe girlfriend. when you're in middle school, like before yours. Obviously,
Oh my god, yeah.
before her. But like if you,
That was also a cringe girlfriend.
yeah, but that's different. In like middle school proper, in like 6th grade, if you had a cringe girlfriend, that's like unrecoverable. That will ruin anything she was interested. Will be ruined forever.
Cut that down.
Wow.
Wow. My buddy Devin had like a fucking 19-year-old girlfriend in middle school.
What?
Like for like girlfriend for like a month maybe.
He had a babysitter that he was fucking, I guess. What?
She was like somehow
His older sister?
his younger sister.
His younger sister?
Somehow that was connected.
His younger sister who's younger than him?
I don't know if she's older or younger actually.
So this 19-year-old girl. Well, Devin was in your grade, correct?
Yeah. Well, he got held back. But yeah, at the
Well,
time he was in my grade, yeah.
He didn't get held back under his younger sister because his sister's in my grade.
Yeah.
Or was in my grade. I'm not still in school.
Jesus. I still remember that, and he was like flexing
Wait,
it.
so he knows a 19-year-old woman who's friends with an 11-year-old.
I don't know how it connected.
Like close enough, quote unquote, friends that he ends up dating her.
We were like in 7th grade, and I remember at the locker, he'd be like, "Yo, she showed me her tits." And I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And he's like, "She's my girlfriend." I'm like, "What?"
He's lying. He had to have been lying. That sounds like a guy who's like, you wouldn't know her. She goes to a different school.
The one thing that made me like,
somebody pulled that on him before, and he's like, okay, I can't say
no,
that
because
same thing.
he came out. We were walking out to the buses, and this chick runs up to him in the school and hugs him.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And then she walks away to her car.
Oh
and he
my
gets off the
God.
bus. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
She
dude?
showed up to the middle school to hug her boyfriend because she's a pedophile,
Yeah.
but didn't drive him home.
No.
I
I don't know what the fuck that was.
That's insane.
Maybe her actual boyfriend was she was hanging out with. Maybe she was still in high school. I don't remember. She might have been like a senior.
like a super senior.
Maybe not even a super senior. She might have just been a regular. I don't know the
Might have
age.
been
I'm just
18.
imagining like a 19-year-old. Because in my little kid brain, everyone looked a lot older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
You know
remember
that feeling?
I remember that feeling.
And then you get to high school and you're like, no, I'm still a little kid. What the fuck?
What the hell is this?
What happened?
But then you're like, you turn 17, you get to 12th grade, and you're like, what the fuck are these little?
You look
what are
back at
these-
the
what are
middle
these
school
freshmen.
and you're like, there's no way I was that.
You look at like even freshmen that year, and you're like, why are there like infants running around the same
Who the
school
fuck-
as me?
Who, is there a field trip? What the fuck is going on?
Who?
There's a field trip going on for
They
the
brought
middle.
the daycare here.
Oh shit. Yeah,
The
no.
daycare took a field trip to high school.
You feel so much older and younger all at the same time.
Because
and
you
it's
have
just-
you see the same teachers, and they're like old people, and they look the same.
Yeah, so you kind of don't.
You never watch a teacher change.
No.
If a teacher ever has like a physical change throughout any part of their life, like that period of their life, something horrendous has happened in their life, in
Yeah.
their personal life, that is causing them to like digivolve into something else. We had a teacher who was a bit chunky when we got into school, and then over the span of like a year and a half, turns out he had a side gig cleaning up radiation, and he thinned out like a cancer patient because he got cancer.
We had a few cancer people.
We had some cancer people.
Oh man.
One of them was more significant than anybody else.
Shout out to the cancer person.
Shout out cancer teacher.
Oh man. Oh my god.
Shout out to the teacher who had cancer.
Shout out to cancer. Keep it going.
The Tropic of Cancer.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
that's what
it's
he
my
meant.
favorite
Yo,
tropic.
shout out to Cancer in Minecraft.
Where's the Tropic of Cancer located? Can
It's-
I go swimming there?
I think it's like by Jamaica or something.
No, shit.
It's like under Florida.
That's our next. We got to go there just for the title.
And do what there?
I don't know. Make cancer jokes. We'll play beer pong and tell each other to get cancer.
Remember when that was an insult? Remember
Yeah,
that
get
era?
cancer, kid.
Get cancer. Yeah, that was like the pre-kill yourself.
It'd be
That
basically
was like acquire a thing to kill you later.
that was like middle school like insult.
Yeah, middle school insults. Honestly, they were something else.
It would
They
just
were
be
95% of them were very cringe, but there's a lot of them in there that were like, whoa. Well, how did you? We got a
There were-
comedy writer over here. We got a future SNL writer over here.
I remember the lunch tables back then were wild. It was just I remember one lunch period was just us trying to insult each other as hard as we could by saying the worst possible things. Like praying the worst things on each other's parents to happen.
Yeah.
It was just trying to gross each other out with how bad things can get.
Did you ever do like improv battles? Like this is probably like before middle school, but like it like pulls out rocket launcher and shoots it at you. Deflect rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Deflects rocket back. Deflects at your parents. It always became like
I vaguely remember that.
Like shield points mirror shield with cancer ray beam on it back at your parents who are behind you.
Where you're having like this epic battle that you're improving with your friend.
There's always the kid who loses who gets really mad. He's like summons meteor and destroys the whole earth.
Yeah, someone just it always ended with that shit.
It's like people on Tumblr who say things in asterisks, but it's in real life at the lunchroom at school.
Fucking A, dude. It just got... Yeah, some of the conversations were wild.
Plays a Yu-Gi-Oh card of Sonic the Hedgehog to bring him to the battlefield.
That was the era when I remember... This was pre-middle school. This is young man.
Elementary.
Young boy.
Primary school.
Like, we were just... It snowed on the playground, so we were trying to make the most awful things out of the snow. And out of everything, like, we spelled out the N-word on the playground. With all the letters.
That got me to make a face. I just realized I didn't make an audio reaction. That got me to make a face.
We made that under the swing set. And then...
yeah, just white kids swinging over the N-word.
Get a drone shot of that.
What a visual.
And then
how many of these kids can even read? Do they know what this is?
It probably looked more like cursive.
Dude, spelling out the N-word in cursive is such a funny thought.
But then me and my buddy Devin, callback, we made huge tits in the playground.
Oh, was that when you got in trouble? Like,
oh yeah, we got fucked for it. And Devin,
you had sex because of it?
No, that was... He didn't meet this. He was maybe like 9 here. He was like maybe.
Oh, my bad, my bust.
This was elementary school.
You did say that, and I completely.
He completely threw me under the bus. Meanwhile, he made the right tit, and I made the left one. Okay. And I thought mine turned out better, and we were arguing as the teachers walked up mid-argument because we complained. I'm like, no, that looks more realistic, and we have. At that point, I don't think we've seen porn or anything. We were just guessing. We're like, yeah, it's about probably this from what we've heard. But I had to write an apology letter to God because of that.
You ever sit at a lunch table with a bunch of dimwit kids who make like the puke boat or something?
The puke boat?
So do you remember those like if you had something that you had to eat with like a fucking
is the puke boat like you mix all the foods and make something
mix
awful?
all the foods.
So our channel.
That little pail.
So our channel.
Yeah, you know, like on the lunch tray they had that little pail that like stuff you'd have to eat with
a
fork or a spoon.
We did that.
And you just dump like a banana and your chocolate milk, and then someone would go buy a soda and then just dump that in there as well.
We would melt the ice cream and shit.
Yeah, it's just the most disgusting thing ever. And then somebody would pull out a whole dollar bill and be like, "You know what you must do."
Oh yeah, I'd be the one to drink it every time.
I did it quite a few times.
I was like, dude, everyone's scared. I'm gonna be the man.
A decent amount of my childhood income was just doing disgusting things because someone offered a dollar.
Yeah, all of my shit was probably the same. I was like doing bets or like challenges of like
that's where my pride ends is $1 as a child.
You were the cheapest prostitute. You could have gone down a whole different path if you were.
That's kind of like the kid version of prostitution, isn't it?
Yeah, because the other kids get pleasure out of you.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're a literal prostitute as a kid, they call that sex slavery because it's illegal.
Yeah.
But like in the legal capacity, like having your friends give you a small amount of money to do something that is irrevocably harmful to your body.
Yeah, if you had a vagina, you were 6 years away from sucking dick on the corner.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how that starts.
I understand. You know what? I kind of understand why women can fall down that path sometimes. That makes sense.
Because they're I get attention for this. Money.
It'd be so easy. It'd be so easy to fall down. Like, there's nothing that a guy can just get the urge to do and go easily acquire that is actually that bad. Which is why men's breaking points are so much worse than women's.
Yeah, they either just do a shooting or kill themselves.
Yeah, a woman's breaking point is like, I'll just go fuck a guy I don't care about.
It's
and then
kind of
forget
that.
about it, and then write it off. Or like charge that one to the game.
Or just write it in your diary and
Yeah, I'll
cry
write it to my diary. I'll cry it off. Put more makeup on, and I'm good.
and
I'll go to work
self-harm,
on
and
Monday.
then you're good.
I
You're
don't think
back
they
to
even need
normal.
they don't even need to do that.
Well, that's more of like high school, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you would be a few dollars away from sucking that 50-year-old guy. But
No, that'd have to be a lot of money.
oh no, if you don't have any self-worth to begin with to drink some puke milk, you'd be on that. You'd get the easy pass to the fucking musky penis. Okay.
Well, now you're just adding worse and worse factors onto it.
Yeah, you wouldn't give a fuck, dude. You'd be like, new challenge? Oh, I'll suck the smegma.
Oh man,
$100 so it's $100.
something weird's happening in my stomach right now. That I'm
You think
not
about
okay
smegma?
with. Hearing you say that word that I haven't heard in like 5 years.
I haven't heard it in 5 years. That's why I said it. We need to bring it back. That used to be an insult.
That's a middle school insult.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing about like middle school insults is like just throwing like words around that you have no idea what they mean, but they sound bad because people don't say them very often.
I didn't know what. Never mind. I can't say
Oh, well, now you have to.
it. Okay.
Now you must.
All right. This is in the context of me not knowing and me explaining. I didn't know what jigaboo meant. But I liked the sound of it when I was little.
Because it's got the double G in the middle.
Yeah, it has.
And it ends with a funny noise.
And it sounds like a cute thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought.
No.
I'm like, oh, you're gay, lol, in that type of context. When I was in middle school, and that quickly became
A
not
problem.
cool as soon as I
No.
said that to my buddy Jaden.
You said that to Jaden? Dude, you couldn't have made a worse mistake.
Oh my god.
Did he beat your ass for it? That feels like something that I've seen him get into a couple fights for less.
Luckily, no. I don't know why. He liked me a lot. He got pissed, but then when I explained it, I thought it was like a gay little Pokemon or something. So he could not laugh. So then we made it okay. But then he was really mad when I called him a porch monkey. That was real bad.
Well,
That
that's
didn't
not
happen.
words.
That,
You
that
can't-
didn't happen.
That's not words that you like don't know what they mean. That's two words. You know exactly what they mean. Put them together. You get
Yeah,
full
no.
context.
No, that was that didn't happen in real life.
Okay,
I said that to
thank God.
Jameson. Not Jameson, Matthew.
You said that to Matt?
Matt.
Matt wouldn't get that.
No, he just thought it was funny. I'd sit on the bus next to him and just say the worst things to him to make him laugh in the morning. And then,
The bus was a wild, insane place.
oh my God, the bus. I
The
miss
bus
it.
might have been prison. Like that's the child equivalent of
The
prison.
morning bus when you're showing up, oftentimes it's just fucking silent.
when it's in the
it's cold.
It's in the winter. There's the sun isn't up yet, but you're on the bus to go to school anyway. There's like you get on one of the first stops and there's like 3 other kids on there, but you're all sitting like 25 feet apart from each other. One of your
It's-
friends gets on, but he's the last stop. You don't even have time to make jokes.
Yeah. And the windows are like there's condensation
There's
on them.
condensation, and you want to lay your head on it. But it's like, oh, it's really cold.
You want to go back to sleep because you almost missed the bus because you're fucking falling asleep already. My parents always wake me up like 5 minutes before the bus, so
No,
I'm scrambling.
You have no breakfast, no energy.
My eyes are just heavy. I'm at the bus stop like, yo, fuck.
That's kid prison.
It was something.
That's got to be kid prison.
That was the closest especially like after a summer break, and you come back in that bus. You get on that bus and it's just silent because everyone's awkward because it's been a few months, and everybody acts like they don't know each other again.
Yeah.
And just sitting on that bus, waiting for school. And since no one's talking, that's all anyone's thinking about. Everyone looks fucking anxious, like they're going on death row. It's you try to talk to somebody and they're like, dude, just fucking fuck, dude.
Meanwhile, the thing everybody's worried about is like speaking to a person that they see every day anyway.
Everyone's nervous. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so anxious to talk to the girl in my class who I've sat next to for 5 months in a row now.
Everyone's anxious about their friends again.
Yeah, like they haven't seen them.
Oh,
as
jeez,
long.
I hope I make a good impression. They're not gonna want to be my friend.
Oh yeah, you come back on day one and like the that crisp early autumn air, when you're like, you wrote hags in my yearbook, but never hung out with me during the summer. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, the biggest transition.
You know, a good summer for me meant seeing you, and you didn't talk to me once. Meanwhile, nobody has like a phone or social media, so like
No.
if you don't just run into somebody on the street, you're never gonna see your friends unless your parents are already friends.
True. You might have like one select friend, but they're not even on your bus.
No, they're not on your bus. So
They're not on your bus.
You can't communicate with
And
them.
you don't know what classes they have. You gotta share them, so you get into class and you're just, fuck, where is he? Fuck.
You have to wait until lunch to see your one friend.
And you're like, oh, dude.
And then you get to middle school and everybody has different lunches.
Oh,
and you're like,
no.
what the fuck is this? They made lunch a class now?
Then
what
it's
the hell is, and you lose half your friends because you can't.
you
don't
lose
have a-
all of them, and it's like that.
And
Those
then
friends die.
And then your one smart friend wants to take AP classes, and then he's in a whole. He might as well go to a different school.
Yeah,
he might as well go to magnet school.
You
at
stop
that point. like, what the fuck?
You stop-
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you transferred to Montessori school.
He just stopped
Tyler.
existing. Tyler.
Yeah, a kid with a really like basic, boring name, who's extremely smart.
Yeah, it really is kind of like that. It's always a Tyler. I lost a Tyler that
Yeah.
way, actually.
Yeah, you lost a Tyler to Montessori school.
Yeah. I lost him to
Fuck.
magnet school.
Magnet school.
Uh,
I when I was a kid, I thought magnet school was like the fucking coolest place ever. I thought that's where they use like magnets to do superpower stuff. I thought that's
There's
how,
a
like,
magnet school?
I thought that's how like generators were made or whatever.
Oh.
They put like a spinning thing in between two.
Wait, is
oppositely
magnet school a
charged-
thing?
Yeah, magnet school's a thing.
Oh, I thought you just invented that as like a science thing.
no, it's a real.
I thought
term.
you said that like as if it was like a beaker school. Like, no, okay, that's a real thing.
No, yeah, you lost a friend to Sky High.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. Turns out he's a superhero. Frick.
Sidekick. You got sidekicked back down to regular school.
The transition that was wild was middle school to high school.
Middle school to high school was crazy, especially for us.
That was nuts. Because then there's two different lunches. And it's
two different lunchrooms in our school. Two different.
And
lunches.
it's like you get that summer break and then you come in and everyone for some reason looked so much different coming into high school and you don't know the layout. It's not like
No, yeah, it's not like the middle school where you've been going through the same place for 3 years. It's like
new layout, new
now,
classes.
new layout.
Everything's anxiety. It's like first day of like a big college. It's fucking we still kind of have that.
And everybody's schedule is different to the point where nobody can help each other navigate.
True.
And
You
also, like the room layouts with like the numbered rooms never make any sense on how they're arranged. So like the 400 rooms would be next to like the 200 rooms, and then 300 is past the auditorium on the other side of the building.
Plus, if you
It's
already
like
have
the secret, and then our auditorium had like the secret hallway with like the music wing behind it that nobody was allowed to be in unless you were a music kid.
I'll pour one out for the. I almost poured one out on your floor. The ones that were like super anxious about anything, just in general, prior to that, probably I don't know how they did not kill themselves. Because in that situation, you just have to ask where rooms are. You have to just go in and be like, "Yo, teacher."
There was a real risk you could walk into a classroom and know 0 people.
It was like that, honestly. It was so fucked up. And I try to get to the class early because I didn't want to be searching on the first day.
You could have homeroom with somebody that you know, or like one of your
Yeah.
friends from before, and then
and then
you move while you're walking. You move schools while you're walking to your first class.
the transition that was fucked up. You find your friend. You're like, we're in the same homeroom. This is sick. We're together. Then you open up your sheet with your schedules.
Nothing.
Not even lunch.
Yeah, you have different lunches. Yeah, there's 3 different lunch. You know what was fucked up in our school? You know what was even worse?
That was like the letter of like one of you is going to Auschwitz. It's like fuck. I guess that's it.
You both opened letters from the government at the same time as one of you's getting drafted and one of you's not because you're an only child.
One of us got drafted to the Pacific Theater and one of us got drafted to the European side. It's like fuck, dude. I don't know.
Oh my god, what the hell is this?
That was fucked up. Those days were
Full of Ned's Declassified to prepare for middle school and high school. I rewatched it 2 times all the way through. Not once was the advice helpful at all. Almost like it was a fake TV show that was not meant to help people.
Was that? No, that wasn't. What was that one show where this kid like went to school with like a bunch of animals?
Oh, that's a cartoon. That's My Gym Partner's a Monkey.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember.
Because his last name is Lion, Lyon. So
Oh,
they
okay.
transferred him to a school for animals.
I haven't thought about that show in a while. The only reason why I thought about it is because there was a high school scene where they go to high school and the ceilings were just taller. Yeah. That's why they call it.
It's high school.
Yeah. So that was my preface to high school.
Damn.
in the visit that I had, oh man,
Oh, visiting the school beforehand?
gave me more anxiety. Honestly, because it was a figure 8 that was confusing, so I
It
couldn't
was.
map it out in my head when we visited. I'm like, God damn it.
What the hell is this? And then, you know what's fucked up is every time we would come back from summer break, we think like, okay, we're like a year older. We're going to run this place. We know what's up. They added more rooms. Come back another year later, they added a new building to our fucking school.
Like,
And then some people had lunch in there. And they had normal classes in there.
yeah.
And
It separated you by like a fucking like. Oh, I remember all of my friends one semester were just there. Lunch and most of their classes were there. So then, in my classes, we're still in the main building.
I had no fucking clue. Like, you remember when they'd pull us into assemblies in like the auditorium and tell us, okay, we're introducing some technology courses and some new types of science classes,
Yeah.
and we're gonna hand out a bunch of pieces of paper, and you guys can try and sign up for what kind of classes you would take now that you're in like going into 11th grade, so you can have electives and stuff.
Right.
Little did they know, they just ship you off to Auschwitz
It's-
with the fucking new. You're going to Alcatraz. It's maximum security. You can look at it, but you can't get in or out.
Everyone's sitting in an auditorium like, interesting.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the hallways, oh my God! Just breakdowns.
I'm gone. I'm gone.
Hugging your
You're
homies.
gonna fucking kill me.
Kissing your homies goodbye. It's so fucked.
Walking up to the girl you've always had a crush on, pulling her around and giving her a big smooch, and then getting
I'm never gonna see you again. I'm off to war.
like a guy coming back from World War II, and the first woman he sees in front of Times Square, he just rips her over and gives her a big kiss in front of that.
That was the situation. I literally at that point just started like getting 2 hours in suspensions and shit, just so I could go to lunch with all
Stay
my
in the
friends.
same place.
The new cat building thing.
Yeah. The third build.
We had lunch together. That was not my lunch.
No.
We had lunch. You were in that lunch, right?
I was in your lunch, yeah.
And I'd like I was mostly sitting with my buddy Spencer and Andrew.
Yeah, I remember.
But then I would come to your table every now and then.
Yeah, you'd see us.
Yeah. That was
because we sat with B More and a bunch of other guys.
I was never supposed to be there, and I got away with it for like a month. And then they're like, "Wait a minute,
Hold on a second.
you have to be in this other lunch." And I remember them walking me out of that lunch one time to bring me to the main lunch. And then they're like, "All right," and I just left the building. I walked past that lunch and went to get Wendy's and went home. And then next day come back, go to the lunch I really actually wanted to be
Why
at.
did they ever give a shit?
I don't know.
They had teachers. First of all, they weren't even like, our school had a security staff, but they never used the security staff. They just had teachers who didn't
Yeah.
have class during that period
Yeah.
to be security guards and be like, "Are you in the light? Are you in the right fucking lunchroom right now?"
Yeah, be like the geometry teacher and the government
yeah,
teacher.
yeah. Our technology teacher, our fucking gay ass technology teacher, Mr. Winters, would be like, "All
Yeah.
right, are you in the right lunchroom right now?"
Yeah, I remember you guys fucking with them.
Why? Who gives a shit, dude? Who fucking cares? It's lunch.
You should be able to just have it anywhere. Now you can't have it. They don't have it.
Now, our school doesn't even have lunch anymore.
Yeah. Dude, imagine if we were there when that happened. That would be another 9/11 for us.
Yeah, dude.
That would be like I
that's-
lost everything.
That's a strike right to the heart.
Yeah, because it just turned into study hall. That's what that's.
What do you mean I can't hang out with my fucking friends?
Yeah, you have to sit in a classroom and eat and study at the same time.
And then you know what? In hindsight, that what was cool at the time, but I find to be like not traumatic. Obviously, it's not that severe, but like the way we're talking about it, like
Yeah,
another strike
yeah.
right to the heart, is you get to be a senior, and then if you have enough credits when you go into senior year, or the regular amount of credits during senior year, half of your day just becomes study halls and lunch anyway.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you can just go home early or come in late if you want," and I'm like, awesome. I just got a car. I can go do whatever I want with half my day. Everybody just leaves. Nobody talks to each other anymore.
No.
You lose half of your social interaction, and you just get stuck with people you have classes with.
It was the best part of high school that got just cut out.
Oh, do you want to not have lunch anymore? Oh, you mean the only time I can interact with my friends in a meaningful way without getting in trouble? No.
I wasn't the best kid in high school, so I didn't get to leave early, but I left early.
Yeah.
Like, I'd just leave with one of my friends all the time.
Yeah, bye.
I'm like, all right, my last class, don't care about it that much. I'm just going to cut that and the study hall that comes after it. Both are gone. I'm leaving. See ya.
You remember how they used to like do attendance in the beginning, and then they'd have like the fucking the teacher's pet. They'd be like, "Does somebody want to run this down to the office to see what the attendance is?" And then that fucking nerd would always be like, "Oh, me, I would like to run it down to
Wait.
I would like to give the attendance sheet to the office. Actually, can I, Mr.
Yeah.
Martin? Can I please take the fucking attendance sheet down to the office?" And then they go. I feel like but the second to last period, like if you take the last class, and they just like, all right, and you're here, and they don't even take attendance. They just look around and be like, all right.
It feels about right.
And then they just keep it. They didn't even have somebody bring it down.
No.
'Cause what, are they going to hunt you down? Like, obviously, if they don't show up for class, they're either in the bathroom or they went home.
Yeah.
I think those are your two options.
It's
They're not in a different classroom.
one of the
That's
times
obvious.
I had to bring something to the office. I'm like, hey, I'll do it. Because at the time, my girlfriend wasn't in class. She was sick or something, or on a field trip. I don't remember. I just remember taking it. I'm like, all right, I'll walk past the office, just like put it like I don't think I brought it to the office. I brought it to the check-in desk. I'm like here, and I just walked out the front doors. I think what they thought was that was my excuse to leave.
Yeah, because they don't check the pieces.
No.
They get so many pieces of paper per hour that they don't fucking care about.
And that's how I try to play it off. I'm like, all right, I gotta go. I just remember I forgot the lady that was sitting there, and I'm like, I gotta go, and she's like, all right, have a good day.
Have a nice day.
I fucking
Walk home.
I think it was 2 classes before the last class. Actually, it was like midday.
Oh, you mean at like 12:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just left. You left school at like 12:30.
I think I might have had a class and lunch. That's about it. I said, all right, I gotta go, and then just went to Wendy's. That's my location. That's destination Wendy's. Got my little 4 with
That's
the lunch
your-
money.
That's your quick save point, I think. That might be where you spawn when you.
Because
die.
at that time I had a debit card, and the school didn't take debit cards. If you don't remember.
Oh, they didn't.
No.
What the hell was that about?
So I could never buy lunch. I had plenty of money because I was working at Moe's at the time.
Yeah.
But I
remember
couldn't.
the overlap.
And then I would just leave. I'd be like, all right, time to go. That was really fun. And my favorite memories was before I worked and before I had a car. I would leave during lunch because I had one of my lunches that I still abided by
Yeah.
not switching to the other one. But the thing I would do is I'd walk in, say hi to the lady that worked the lunch, the security people, the teacher.
Yeah.
I think it was like Miss Fiozo or something.
Mm-hmm.
And say hey, and just take a lap through the lunch, walk out, go to the auditorium, walk out those doors, go outside, walk all the way to Wendy's, get food, sit down, talk to the workers there, because one of them was like someone I knew that graduated,
Mm-hmm.
and he would be like, yo, here's the deal, free nuggets, 10-piece right here. I'm
Let's
like,
go,
sweet.
dude.
Back. And by that time, my study hall kicked in. So I just walk into my study hall. But the thing is, I would walk in through the front desk every time just to show them that I'm back.
Yeah.
And they would be like, all right, 2 hour every single time. I had a 2 hour for like 2 or 3 months straight.
You had detention every single day for 2 months.
I had a detention every single day.
That's so funny.
It was, and
You
then
could have just talked to somebody and be like, "Yo, let me in the doors at this time so I can not get detention again."
and then they gave up.
You beat the system.
I did it so much.
You won the war of attrition with the system.
I think realistically, it was only like a month and a half that I actually did this until they gave up. To where they're like, okay, come on, man, you got to write like a letter of why this is wrong and why you shouldn't ever do it again.
That was such a bullshit move by schools when you got in trouble for something and they're like, okay, if you tell us why you're super extra sorry this time, you're free to go.
Me and like fucking Jameson in there, we were sitting there looking at each other. We're talking, and then the lady would be sitting. It's like a small 2-hour room. It's a very compact. Have you ever had 2 hour?
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
remember.
And there would be the lady sitting, or whoever is watching the 2 hours sitting
It's
there.
like a 5x5 room.
It's super fucked. And we're all sitting there looking at each other, and I'm just talking to Jameson. I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, I fucking ripped the paint off the wall somewhere. And I'm like, that's crazy. I just kept leaving to eat because I'm hungry.
Sometimes 2 hour was fun though. Sometimes detention was fun because if you had like a teacher or a monitor, and
If you had a rapport with them.
if you had a rapport with them and they could they're like, nice to see you again. I mean, stop coming here so I can see you, but obviously nice to see you again. And they're like, okay, you guys just like you can do whatever as long as you're not on your phone, and then you guys could just have nice conversations for a couple hours before you took the late bus. If you had one of those asshole teachers who was like, no phone, no talking, no homework,
Yeah.
don't look at each other, stare at the wall, don't look at the clock, I'm ripping the clock out of the wall, I'm taking the batteries out. Like there was a few of those.
There was a few of them, and that was the letter day one.
The letter day was that one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where you know what she did throughout the 2 hour?
What did she do?
She walked up and looked. She's like, you need to be making more progress. Speed it up, write more. I'm like, I'm done. I wrote like 2 paragraphs. And she's like, no, you have to do the full page and a little bit of the back. That's when I'll let you go. I'll let you go early.
Cite your sources with an appendix if you tell us how sorry you are.
So then at that point, I remember scratching out. I scribbled over all the 2 paragraphs I wrote. And I'm like, this is how I really feel. I flipped the whole page and I write really small. I wrote a dense, fucking book about why the fuck I'm going to keep walking out no matter what. You can't stop me.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm hungry and you're taking food out of my mouth by doing this. And I only have a debit card. My parents won't give me cash. And they won't put money in my whatever thing account because they think it's a reasonable thing to just give me cash and debit card.
Which it was. Why wouldn't the school take a debit card?
And I wrote all that. I handed it in, and I walked it at the 2 hour. I got suspended for a week. Out of school suspension.
Out of school for that?
Out of school.
That's ridiculous. Why would they do that?
After that, I come back. Everyone, I have like a comeback welcoming of all my friends.
Yeah.
And then I continue doing what I was doing. Lunch, walking out, coming back. But at this point, no one's stopping me. They just say, hey, what's up?
I got out of school suspension one time. I don't even remember. Everybody welcomed
them.
What was really distressing at first, that ruined the whole vibe of that,
Oh, no.
was going to like your first class with like a teacher who kind of liked you, but they still hand you that manila folder with everything you missed in it, and it's like 2 packets and like 6 pieces of homework.
Yeah.
And then you go to every class, and by the last class you go to that day, it's just hilarious how tall this thing is. Like my backpack can't fit that.
I remember
I
that.
can't. I have to like.
Yeah.
I have to be the nerd from those comics who's like carrying their papers out, like wearing a backpack with his glasses on.
I had that
papers
shit.
out.
You should have honestly gone to the first teacher back with this pile and be like, what do I do? Just had that pile.
I
Right.
was like, my last teacher of the day is like before she comes over, I like put the stack
Yeah.
on my desk, and then she comes over and like makes it like a whole foot taller, and I just and I just have a heart attack and die on the spot.
You should have just made them feel bad, turn it against them. I didn't do that.
I did pull that on one of my least favorite teachers one time. I was like, she gave us an unreasonable amount of homework, and I just pulled out all the homework I got that day. And I was like, you think I have time for this?
Actually,
I do not have time for this.
Actually, wait a minute. They should have, for that the school suspension, they should have sent it.
you your homework.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got sent for, except one teacher didn't do it.
No, they never did it for me.
My government teacher. You just got fucked. That's what happened with you.
Damn. Mr. Martin just didn't do it for you?
No, he didn't do it.
Oh, damn.
He's like, no, he should just suffer. He was one of those type of guys.
Mr. Martin kind of was one of those type of guys, which is based if you think about it, because
Yeah.
there wasn't many of them.
He was. I loved him. I'm not gonna
He's
lie.
cool. Yeah,
He
I don't
was
understand
funny as
people-
fuck.
He would drink in class.
You
You ever see the bottle of Bailey's under his desk? Yeah.
you just come in and just talk about like. He's like, my wife.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what the fuck?
Did I tell you about the one time we came in when the Avengers Endgame trailer came out? He's like, all right, before we start talking about history, we all have to watch this. And then we had a sit down like a 40-minute sit down analysis of the Endgame trailer.
I wish I had that with him. That was really cool.
There would be times close to the end, because I had him 2 years in a row. There was times like towards the end of the year where he would just like open the bottle of Bailey's and pour it in his coffee mug, like while the lights were on and stuff. Anytime we'd like watch a movie, we'd go down to his desk and everybody would see him reach down in the same place.
I hope he's still teaching.
I want to go back to school and just see who's still there.
We should definitely make a trip at some point just to.
Yeah, we should go
I
back
want to talk to Mr. Galati again. That'd be wild.
Me too.
Me
That'd
and you.
be awesome.
Me and you make a visit. That'd be crazy.
Remember us?
I wonder, is there like set days for it? You think?
No. Because we talked to Maddie's sister, and she's like, yeah, you can just go. You just call them ahead of time and tell them who
Shit.
you want to see.
If there are set days, I know 100% all the people that would be going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know the list.
I know the list. Do you think it'd be funny to, like, pull up with, like, you just carry, if we, like, had, like, rows of cardboard behind us, like wings with all of our friends' faces from classes on it, but it's just us two together, like, remember us? It's like, it's the whole gang's here.
Holy shit.
That'd be funny. That'd be crazy.
Holy fuck.
Dude, school was something else. Holy shit.
High school was wild. School, just in general, school was hilarious.
I hate that was, like, the best time of our life, but it hasn't been, like, the same.
Every
day can be a movie.
I miss the forced socialization out of it, because college, you could just get away with not talking to anybody easily. And most people angle for that. Like 90% of people you try to talk to,
they won't
in class. A lot of them will just be short. Some people are cool, and I still have connections with them. I just don't hang out with them for probably a reason. But yeah, school was like a prison where you form gangs.
Yeah, and there's 300 teenagers in one building. Obviously, something interesting is going to happen socially.
Every day there was something.
There was
new.
never a boring day. You'd always hear something wild, or your friends would come together and make some new bit forever.
And I feel like my grade was maybe the most exceptional. Maybe it was the grades below even. Maybe mine was like the thing that turned the tides. We didn't really even. I didn't feel any cliques because I felt like every
we did
group.
not have cliques.
Yours didn't either.
We didn't have cliques.
The grade ahead of us did.
Yeah. I remember that. Because
My grade didn't. Like
I watched that.
The quote unquote jocks.
I watched that fall apart.
Sitting there talking about D&D with all the other guys.
Yeah.
It'd be just the mix of the people that'd be on tables would be nuts.
Because it's just who's in what class.
Yeah, it turned into that.
The whole cliques thing fell apart. Because even like the football, like, because they started letting retards play football. I think that's what it did it. I think that's what killed it. Is they not to be mean, but what I don't know what elementary school you would have went to, but it was a pretty common thing in America to have like the special needs class, where the actual like brain deficient kids were in there with like the kids who just have anger issues.
Oh,
so those they're like, oh, they're not that bad, and eventually they kind of just get mixed in with the rest of us towards middle school, and then like they end up just do it. They'd be like, oh, you can go do whatever you want now, so they'd sign up for like football or whatever, so they could hit other people. And then the football team ends up having a rapport with this kid, and they're all like just friends, and he kind of grows out of his anger issues, but he's still weird because everybody remembers that reputation of him.
Yeah.
And then by that point, all the football kids are nice. They're not like quote unquote jocks anymore. And there are still nerds, but nerds are just people who don't fit in with anybody. That's kind of
nerds just turn into just incels, I feel like.
Yeah, that's kind of like the new term. Like Chad and incel isn't really like jock versus nerd.
Nerds kind of generalized as like everybody's a bit of a nerd now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was like
everybody has a geeky little interest that they can talk about for hours.
Like in high school, I could hop around most tables. Like there was the tables of like the groups that were football, and they would kind of congregate a bit more. I'd swing over there, and then we'd be like theorizing on what the Halo 4 trailer meant.
Yes, that was my favorite.
And it was my like
favorite days.
I walk past, and they're like talking about Halo 4. I'm like, yo, fuck, let me sit down. What's good? And we just spent the whole period talking about like how hyped we are.
I love walking around like the lunchroom or something with somebody who I just don't give a shit about at all, and like keeping my listening ears on so you can just abandon them the second you find a cool conversation. And
that was fun.
Like you wouldn't even like the bench at the end of the table wouldn't even have any room on it. You just like crash into another dude and be like, "You guys are fucking talking about Halo? I love Halo."
I had in lunch always I maintained 4 tables.
You'd bounce. You'd have to bounce, yeah.
That I could be like, okay, this table's kind of mid right now.
my hang up about those was that the tables that I would bounce between are never next to each other. So if I was
you have to walk. Yeah, mine.
If I was going to change, I'd have to do like a walk of shame where they could kind of see, like especially if you start at one and then go to another, and then the second one fails, and then you will go back to the first one. You do the walk of shame, and all your friends from over there see that you didn't work out.
And then it would be like. Depending on the moment, sometimes you'd set the table that was the closest to your crush or some shit.
Dude, oh!
And you'd be like, no matter how bad the conversation is, you're like, fuck, she's right behind me. Fuck. That'd be it.
Dude, I should have just gone gay in middle school. That would have
been what the fuck?
Because I'm thinking back to it now. One of my like tables in my roster was the girl table.
You don't want to be like kick-ass, bro, and fake gay, okay?
Like I don't think I faked gay on purpose, but I ended up like in the girl table, welcome with open arms, like I was a gay guy. They treated me like I was gay, because I had lunch with like all of the hot girls in 8th grade. I sat with all of the hot girls, and I was like friends with them, but there was like no shot.
Oh shit!
Malcolm's calling.
Should we pick it up on a podcast? Fuck it.
All right.
Let's keep it real, you know.
Yeah, we're doing.
It'd be good for the memories.
Yo, Malcolm's calling. What the fuck is up?
Yo, what the fuck?
Oh shit, that's a car. Keeping it real for the podcast. That was a nice Malcolm cameo. He's usually here, but this time he wasn't. He's at the mall.
He's at the mall.
Did you ever go to the mall to hang out during school?
No, I don't think I did.
I think that was like an 80s and 90s movie thing.
Yeah, I always like wondered if
How
people
did you
did that. I feel like girls did that.
Girls did that because they had older boyfriends who had a car.
Yeah.
But I always wondered, like, because guys never went to the mall because you only had bikes.
Yeah.
Or you had to have like an older brother or older cousin who had a car.
Or like, you couldn't do your parents. You could use your parents.
You could use your parents, but it'd be weird.
Yeah.
Unless you had like a girl. So I went to the mall one time.
Oh, he's calling again.
He's calling back.
Oh, sweet. Cool. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. We'll definitely stop by. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Love you guys. Drive safe.
Later.
Love you.
Love you too. That's weird. He never drops a love you on us. That's
Aw, he hit us with a love you.
he's gay.
Aw.
I went to the mall this one time. Sorry, I'll finish this. Rewinding. I went to the mall one time because my girlfriend was crazy and her mom was even crazier. And her mom was dating this guy who sold cars on Facebook. That was his job.
Okay.
He would he did drop shipping but for cars on Facebook. So he was basically like a work from home guy because he did it all on his phone. And I don't know why I did that.
That was wild. He's just putting on a seatbelt mid-sentence. That was crazy.
It's because I have to pee, and I'm telling the story, and then we can
I'll go
end it,
pee in the
and I
woods.
gotta- we could pee in the woods.
You could pee in the woods. I don't need to pee.
I forgot about that.
You don't have the road mic, so you can't go wireless.
I'm not going to. I'll tell it. So my mom's, my dad's, my girlfriend. Fuck.
Are you drunk?
No.
Okay.
I just fucked that up really
You just-
bad.
Oh, okay. You should have said yes, because now I just think you're retarded.
Okay. Well, I might be. My girlfriend's mom's boyfriend
Yeah.
was a work-from-home car salesman, so he would just drive my girlfriend's mom anywhere she wanted.
Yeah.
And I think my girlfriend's mom was like a social security collector or something, or like a disability collector. She didn't have like a real job. So she was just a crack woman and would do whatever her daughter told her to do because she didn't have anything else going on in her life. And they would only make like dinner plans and stuff. So anything that like happened when we got out of school, it's like free. My girlfriend treated it like a free Uber. So she came and picked me up one time, and then just dropped us off at the mall. I had no idea where we were going. I thought they were just going to pick me up and bring me home. Didn't tell my mom, didn't tell my grandparents or anything, didn't tell anybody we lived with. I just got in massive trouble, but I was like, hey, we're walking around the mall right now. And we saw a couple kids who had graduated the year before, and we're like, hey, we're all hanging out at the mall like the 80s
dude.
movies.
It's
dude.
like
It
in
was
the
so
movies.
sick. It was just like in the movies. And I look back on it now, and like the circumstances in my life that led me to hanging out at the mall after school were so
I
horrendous.
don't like people hang out in the mall.
Nobody really does.
No. That kind of died. I wish it was still a thing. That'd be cool. I never heard about people hanging out at the mall except like some stories the girls would tell us about it.
Yeah.
Kind of just turned into that.
Well, girls would go on like that's daddy's money's girls, and they would go on little shopping sprees.
Girls that I hung out with.
Yeah.
They would always talk about going to the mall. I was like, oh, okay, shit.
The double K girls.
Yeah.
Special Agent KK.
Yeah, I don't want to say their names because their names are really identifiable.
Yeah, especially for us and our people.
Yeah.
That was a good talk. That it didn't go in the direction I thought it would, but that was very fun.
Yeah, that was a fun podcast, I think.
Signing off on Mischief Castle.
Signing off.
Magical number 83 that you somehow guessed correctly. I don't know how the fuck you did that.
I'm just incredible.
You might. Are you Mr. Incredible?
I am Mr. Incredible.
Are you DreamWorks Pictures Mr. Incredible?
Mr. Incredible signing off.
The other guy signing off. The button doesn't work.
What do you mean?
The error. All right, bye.
Castle.